Here is your host, Fancy Grace.
Hi. Hey. How are you doing? Good to see you. Okay, folks. It's me, Fancy Grace. I sure have missed all of you. Now I'm telling you, this Brian Kohberger case is making me so mad. I see Nancy on there with her panel of experts, expert agenda pushers. People have questions they would like answers to, but they want honest answers, answers that are unbiased and to the point. Well, America, Fancy Grace is answering that. I got the solution. I decided to enlist the help of Microsoft. Don't worry, it's not going to crash. I got Microsoft and their AI assistant co-pilot, and the co-pilot is going to answer our questions. Who better than somebody who's got no skin in the game? We're going to get the real answers from an unbiased source. Stay tuned. I've got your questions ready. This is going to be good, folks. At the end of this video, I promise you, there is some very, very interesting photos I'm going to share with you. Something that could be quite scandalous. So please, stay tuned to the end. I really do think it'll be worth it. This will be a two-part, because I don't want to make it too long for you. Two-part series. Let's get going. Thanks again. My first question is, hey, co-pilot, can you explain why people such as Cousin Nancy and the narrative pushers state that Brian Kohberger is guilty of 4 homicides before a trial or presentation of evidence has occurred? Co-pilot, go! Certainly, Fancy. The evidence against Brian Kohberger, who is facing charges related to the murders of 4 University of Idaho students, has been a topic of discussion. Investigators used DNA evidence, cell phone records, and surveillance footage to connect him to the crime. However, it's important to note that this evidence is not irrefutable proof of his guilt. According to a criminal defense attorney, the evidence laid out in this affidavit does not definitively place Kohberger at the scene of the murders. His case is still in its early stages, and many questions remain unanswered. Additionally, there have been disputes over the strength of certain pieces of evidence, including cell phone, tower data, and eyewitness accounts. As with any legal case, it's crucial to approach the evidence with a critical eye and recognize that definitive conclusions are yet to be reached. That, folks, is what an AI bot can say. So, what is the excuse for the American public being stupider than the computer? You cannot make this man guilty till you have seen with your eyes, not anybody else's eyes or sources, but your eyes. You have to see the evidence before you can put somebody to death. Wake up, people! I did ask the question a second time, asking the co-pilot what its personal opinion was, and this is what they said. The complexities of criminal justice. While I don't have personal opinions, I can share that determining guilt involves a thorough legal process. In Brian Kohberger's case, the evidence is being examined, and the court will ultimately decide based on facts, arguments, and legal standards. It's essential to approach such cases with an open mind and respect for due process. Did you hear that, Idaho? Things sure are heating up in the Brian Kohberger case, as this week we witnessed the inability of Idahoans to be unbiased when it comes to participating as a juror in a trial. Well, I know this leaves us with more questions than ever, and I am answering your questions tonight, viewers, with the single most unbiased answers available on the planet. Stay tuned. I would like to thank Microsoft AI Copilot for joining me on the panel this evening. Now, Copilot, I'm just a lowly cousin of a former prosecutor, but when I sit and think of Nancy's twins, I often wonder if the same thing would be happening if Top Mom Casey Anthony was on this trial. Then again, I digress. So, the question I have is, can you explain to everyone the difference between touch DNA and actual DNA complete sample profile? Because I know many of the pre-convictors seem to just say DNA. Kohberger left his DNA on the knife sheath. He's he's a goner. In fact, the recent survey, they were even threatening if they didn't get their way, they would turn into a mob and get the man from the jail cells. I mean, what is going on in Idaho? Flashback. What is touch DNA? We ignore the word touch. We just say DNA evidence, DNA evidence. It doesn't matter that don't worry about the touch, okay? Don't worry about that. Just shh. Kohberger has DNA. Copilot response. Touch DNA analysis has revolutionized forensic science by allowing experts to extract and analyze genetic material from the mere remnants left by a person's touch. However, not every touch DNA analysis leads to a conclusive result. Here's why. Number one, partial profiles. Touch DNA often results in partial DNA profiles. These profiles may lack alleles, a certain loci, due to factors like sample degradation or low quantities of genetic material. Sensitive improvements, number two. Advances in technology have made touch DNA analysis more sensitive. Automated processes detect DNA fragments, but strict attention to detail is crucial. Each plate typically holds 96 samples. In summary, touch DNA provides valuable evidence, but complete profiles are not guaranteed. Investigators must navigate challenges in evidence collection and interpretation. Not all laboratories have the same equipment capable of analyzing touch DNA and getting a complete profile. Many millions and millions of people share very similar partial profiles. That's what makes complete DNA profiles far better when you're trying to prove someone was present at a crime scene. Partial profiles is what they had on Ted Bundy for years and years. And they said, quote, "It was more hassle than it was ever help because things are very inconclusive with partial DNA only." Sidebar. Okay, everyone. The last paper there, that article where I highlighted in the multicolor because I'm very organized like that, the one that's discussing Ted Bundy and that partial DNA profile and why it is very irresponsible for them to conclude any of these open cases on that partial DNA thing. Okay, we're going to go into that in the next episode because I've got more details. I've got more information for those that are interested. But I've got one more question for the AI co-pilot to answer. And then I'm going to throw up some of those pictures that's going to kick off the next episode. But I am toying. If I can get some more subscribers, I am toying with going and doing this next one, maybe live. So you're not going to want to miss it. Let me get this wrapped up and you'll see what's to come. Because I was blown away. I think I did a good job. I tried really hard. I hope y'all have a great day and I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I dearly love you all. Let's get to this last question in pictures. All right, here we go. Today's final question, and we will begin this next time when the panel is open again. AI pilot, co-pilot that is. If I see a crime scene and the crime lab technicians or the police are not using PPE, which stands for personal protective equipment like gloves, shoe covers, etc., or are contaminating a scene by using that PPE incorrectly, should you speak up? What do you say, co-pilot? Thank you, Fancy. You'd be right to voice your concerns if you observed crime scene technicians failing to properly put on their protective gear. Here's how you can address the situation. Approach politely. Start by politely introducing yourself and explaining that you noticed something concerning. State your observation. Clearly explain that you saw technicians putting on gloves outside the scene or touching outside items before entering. Voice your concern. Express your worry that this could contaminate the crime scene, but maintain respect. Remember that crime scene technicians are trained professionals. Frame your approach with respect for their expertise while emphasizing the importance of proper procedure. Thanks, Fancy. What do you think? All right, here's my interpretation of what the AI just told us. Hi, excuse me, officer, excuse me, crime technician. Hi, I am Fancy Grace, and I noticed that you are not putting on your gloves in a proper way, or you just picked up trash out the damn driveway of the murder house. Do you mind doing your job appropriately? Uh, Ma'am, you will be arrested for obstruction of justice if you do not back up. Back up now, or we're going to tase you. That's how I see that situation going down. What about you all? Leave a comment. Okay, here's your sneak peek. This first picture, we're going to start off with the doozy. This is Brian Kohberger's apartment when the police decided to use their search warrant and go in to collect evidence. Let's take a look at what do we see here? Oh, looks like some people going, right outside the door there, and who could that possibly be? Oh my stars! Let's look a little closer. Who is that? Bill Thompson and his right hand shusher? What? You're gonna laugh when you see this one. Wow. Okay. Well, we're gonna put some booties on and everything, guys, and you're gonna laugh. We're gonna get to that one. Now, right after that, you're gonna see the top lady over here of the crime scene collection from the state. She's from the state. She's got her gloves on. And she's touching every damn thing in sight. Now, I clearly was taught, because y'all don't even know, Fancy worked in a lab for 4.5 years. I was clearly taught, very serious, that if you have a pair of gloves on and you're doing something, you do not touch anything else with those gloves. You would take them off inside out, dispose of them, sanitize, clean your hands again, put on a new pair of gloves. If you are collecting evidence or using like a sample or something, you would be utilizing a clean pair of gloves, sanitized hands, and a clean collection apparatus every time. I don't see that going on here. We got people just walking in and out. They don't even have jumpsuits on. So we're going to look at all these pictures, because I'd be real interested to know what they're going to try to say is evidence that they're just slinging in and out. And, here's my favorite part, guys. We got this character, and I'll go into all the details because I've really broke it down for you folks in this next episode. But I do believe somebody is taking a little gift bag home with themselves. It's quite interesting. We'll talk about that. And people wonder why there might be a little bit of a question on that touch DNA. Good night, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care and be kind.